Is there a more wonderfully tragic way to cap off our little Star Rail stretch than with Aventurine's backstory video? You know, some of the people who've been here a while might have noticed we aren't particularly the best when it comes to pronouncing the foreign words on this channel. I just sort of wing it and try sounding it out. And I think for the most part this goes well. It's just the times it doesn't go as well that really stick out like a sore thumb.
Bro, but like, what are these? Why does everyone in Fontaine have such complicated names? We're getting Ridoslavia? I don't think it's Ridoslavia. Yes, Ridoslavia. And we're also getting Newsville, man. Everyone say Newsville. Who leaked parts of Liney and Linetti's kit.
Someday when they return, their true ordeal shall begin. Javabalink, one entombed with the primal fire. How do you say this guy's name? Now, with that said, we managed to have perhaps our worst blunder when it came to Aventurine, whose birth name is Kakavasha. However, the way I read it was for revealing that his name is Kakavshka, meaning child blessed by Gallagher. I think I got that right, Kakavshka. Yeah, that was pretty good by me. Now, to most of you, there might be a minimal difference, but to the Russians among us, this is apparently the Russian word for shit. Which means every time I said his name, I was just saying shits, which, I mean, damn, we fucked up before, but that's an old-timer right there. In any case, we will rectify that mistake in this video. Aventurine, while on the surface comes off as brash and arrogant, actually has a lot more to him underneath the surface. However, given Mihoyo's favorite gender is sad backstory, thus Aventurine grew to have one too. Aventurine hails from a planet called Sigonia-IV, which is located in an unclaimed section of space between some star clusters. The planet's environment is said to be extremely harsh, and if that wasn't bad enough, the planet is also asteroid-prone. Even the fucking planet has a sad backstory. Due to this isolation from the rest of the universe, few intelligent species reside there, and thus, those that do live a nomadic lifestyle. In addition to this, Sigonia-IV also has a separate belief system independent of that of the Eons. Rather, they worship a goddess named Gallagher Triclops. See? You guys thought I was gonna fuck it up. Which, it's just weird. Bro, her name just sounds like a dinosaur. Gallagher Triceratops. I mean, her other name is Fengabios, but, you know, her dinosaur name just sounds way cooler. Two of the more noteworthy clans that reside in Sigonia were the Catacons and the Avgens. The word Cataka translates to shell slasher, because fuck me, the Catacons just love to fight and be brutal. Meanwhile, Avgen translates to honey, and they were often accused of stealing stuff, because racism and that. The Avgen were subjected to many baseless rumors such as these and discriminated against.
You Sigonians are notorious throughout the entire universe. Liars, thieves, social manipulators, wolves in sheep's clothing. You're really living up to the reputation.
And it was all because of one simple reason: their looks. Now, at this point, I wouldn't blame you if you were thinking, well, those Avgens must have been some ugly sons of bitches that everyone just sat here and just went, fuck you in particular. In actuality, it was the complete opposite. They were beautiful people. Quotes, the Avgens are blessed with attractive facial features, beautiful eyes, and an innate wealth of emotional intelligence, all of which effortlessly endear themselves to any strangers. However, these inborn talents are the exact reason they draw jealousy and ire from others. And the envious and snobbish soon began their ceaseless slander, and the baseless defamation of the Avgens thus spread like wildfire throughout the cosmos. As mere rumors can suffice to tarnish the sanctity of truth, the Avgens, a people of a peripheral world, found themselves assailed without recourse, subject to all manners of suspicion and prejudice. You know, Sparkle's racism was born of ignorance. This, of course, differs from my long-standing racism against the dragon sovereign race, because mine is justified. Fuck them niggas. The Avgen revered Gallagher Triceratops so much they had a special day called Kakava. That was essentially just New Year's, you know, a day that marked her rebirth, and it would also be the day that I giggles, but I shouldn't have. The day the massacre happened. See, that's why I should have. Fuck. Given both the Catacons and Avgin were on a barely hospitable planet and had nothing better to do with their time, they sort of just decided to fight one another, because that's always fun. Quote, these clans share a vendetta that lasted through amber eras, engaged in a cycle of bloody vengeance in the boundless wilderness where only the fittest survive, until mysterious figures clad in black descended from the sky. These figures clad in black were the paragons of peace known as the IPC, who established Sigonian sovereignty with all the clans on the planet except for the Catacons and Avgins, because fuck them. Quotes, unfortunately, this unity and progress did not extend to the Avgins and Catacons. Some malicious opportunists among the Sigonians viewed the former's resourcefulness with suspicion, while slandering the latter as nothing more than predators with no hope of enlightenment. Although they possessed only limited knowledge about preservation, they understood that some of them had to be sacrificed for it. Utilizing a highly advanced set of parliamentary rules, these devious and corrupt individuals banished both clans to the endless deserts. It's in these deserts our protagonist comes into play. We see Aventurine as a baby being held in his mother's hands, and we learn his father died before he was even born. The mother is asking Gaiathra Triceratops to gaze upon the child and bless him, which she apparently does, because we learn it rained on the day Kakavasha was born, indicating he was blessed. As a matter of fact, the name Kakavasha means child blessed by Gaiathra. And I mean, based on the fact that she keeps calling him lucky, it seems like he was blessed with good luck, which he put to use from a very young age. One such instance involved young Kakavasha seeking out Catacons who had stolen his older sister's necklace, a gift from their mother. In order to retrieve the necklace, he waged a bet versus them, quite possibly the most arbitrary bets I've ever heard. Who would die in the desert first, him or two birds? I don't know. He insists he won fair and square, and his sister reiterates that Kakavasha is a lucky child blessed by Gaiathra Triclops. Important to note that by this point in his childhood, Kakavasha's mom had also passed on, and his family, his only family, was his sister. It's for this reason she was upset Kakavasha would purposefully seek out those damned Catacons. In response, Kakavasha would begin to question the divine and the old phrase, God doesn't give you more than you can handle.
But sister, if Gaiathra Triclops was really watching over us, then why did she not protect Dad when he was swept away by the quicksand? After all, Dad went to the Catacons' land only to prepare for Gaiathra Triclops' offerings. And where was Gaiathra Triclops when Mom was shivering in our arms? Mom was still pleading for Gaiathra Triclops' forgiveness under her breath until the moment she closed her eyes. Sister, everyone praises me for being smart, but I don't get it. If every rain pour was Gaiathra Triclops' forgiveness and grace, then how bad were our sins? So much so that we were born in this world of death?
The next phase in Kakavasha's life sees him in a cell, bound, and with a fresh brand on his neck spelling slave. By this point, the second Avgin extinction event had already happened, leaving Kakavasha as the sole survivor. It's due to this luck that this unscrupulous-sounding individual would purchase him. He then reveals that to test Kakavasha's luck, he had purchased other slaves as well and had Kakavasha play a game with them, to which Kakavasha came out alive. At the request of Kakavasha, the master then reveals he spent 60 tanba or red coins to purchase him. Kakavasha then demands that he be paid 30 tanba should he come back alive next time, to which the master just scoffs at and tells him to remember his place. Later on, we learn the suspect for an Aventurine case had been arrested. The case was a rather large one, causing a massive drain on IPC resources and manpowers, and it also led to them having massive losses as well. The culprit was none other than our very own Kakavasha, who was arrested and brought before one of the 10 Stonehearts, Jade. Jade reveals that Kakavasha killed his former master, and this fact is so well known apparently, no lawyer dare to defend him. Hey bro, speaking of, OJ died, man. The juice is no longer loose. I won't comment on what that is. We then learn parts of this case where apparently what happened is the IPC wanted the perfect construction material, to which Kakavasha pointed them in the direction of the golden sands of Egihazo, where it was said they could have been able to dig up even Taziziron's remains, but alas, According to Kakavasha, their luck had run out. Jade then questions why his scheme would be done if it benefits no one, not even Kakavasha himself, to which he rebukes her claim and states it did benefit him as he got what he wanted, which is to be brought before her for his next gamble, in which he will stake his life. He bets they won't sentence him to death, and he also requests to meet her boss, Diamond. And finally, he wants 30 tombas, I guess, to buy himself out. He said it was his market value. Jade states Kakavasha will not be meeting Diamond because no one gets to meet with Diamond. She will decide on his behalf. She then just recruits him into the IPC, tells him to get some new clothes, a new name, will give him all the money he wants and more, and then bada bing bada boom, some time passes and he's a Stoneheart too. He achieves the same rank as Topaz and then eventually outranks her following her demotion, gets tasked by Diamond to take on the Penacony project, and then before you know it, he's marching to his supposed death and having a heart-to-heart with himself. We learn, despite all the bravado and confidence he dons to people he's making bets with, Aventurine is in actuality terrified of losing it all. We learn at one point Aventurine was invited to the tavern and could have embraced elation, but ultimately chose the IPC, although it's hinted at his reasons for joining them had little to do with the preservation.
Go on. Tell me I'm right. You know who you really are, Mr. Cavalier Gambler. Uptight, overcautious, massive inferiority complex. You've won so much, and you're still so afraid of losing. They only see your big bets, your bravado, the full house, the straight flush. They don't know the other hand is below the table, clutching your chips for dear life. It's a heck of an act. No wonder the tavern sent you an invite.
Well, the best way to prevent others from seeing your true colors is first being able to fool yourself.
Of course. I know you all too well. But it's strange. Why did you decline that invitation? You had the chance to embrace elation. Was that not what you most wanted? But you chose the IPC instead. For the preservation? I doubt it. Do you even have anything in common with the preservation?
Oh, I thought you knew. Didn't you say you had me pegged? We're done. Either stop talking or disappear from my sight.
We then learn of an especially low point in Aventurine's life that saw his family come under attack, during which he and his sister were forced to play dead in bloody waters that wound up ruining his shirt, hence his apprehension to go down into the sewers. Later we learn, in addition to the aforementioned necklace his sister had gifted to her by their mother, he himself received a lucky charm. Despite both of these items being made from gold, Aventurine never sold them because he stated there will never be a third. We get another scene with Kakavasha and his sister, where his sister states they must part ways here, as the Catacons will surely be planning an attack given today is Kakava, which also happens to be Kakavasha's birthday. His sister states the Aventurine will fight back with the help of those dressed in black. They do the hand thing and split up, and we get this disheartening report from the IPC.
The insurgents are from a local clan known as Kataka, which has a long history of disdain towards the IPC. This has caused a serious negative impact to the work of the IPC's marketing.
The clan launched a massive attack on the Abjin, who were under the protection of the IPC, resulting in 6,728 deaths and 3,452 missing. The casualties are currently under the care of the frontline trauma team. The spokesperson expresses his deepest condolences for this devastating humanitarian disaster. At the same time, delivering an important message on this matter to all interplanetary citizens. Finally, he proclaims, the hammer of preservation will fall on all beings, regardless of life or death, regardless of race, regardless of ideology, to uphold the basic rights we inherently possess.
Aventurine's last scene sees him interacting with his past self once more, where he says he will know when his time has come, as Gaiathara will call to him in the form of rain, but that day is not today. He then walks into the abyss where he faces an uncertain future. Beautiful, isn't it? What a beautiful story from Aventurine. a lot of soul survivors on this on this planet. So we got the soul surviving Avgin. We very well might have the soul survivor from fucking Izumo. And then we very well might also have the soul survivor from Glamoth. What the fuck is going on here?